All right, Shalom. This is Power Thumb of the Great Millstone Houston Camp, back with another lesson to edify the elect of the nation of Israel. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the Israelites also are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, which is a curse that befell the children of Israel. So the children of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, looking like the other nations where they are scattered at, all right, but are indeed Israelites due to their father's seed and their spirit. Okay. The elect of the nation of Israel, the Israelites that in these last days hear the word they hear the word of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah, whom the world inwardly call God, and Jesus Christ, believe on that word which is coming from the prophets, okay, his messengers, which are the Hebrew Israelites of the Great Millstone. Those teachings, okay, are the teachings, all right, of salvation through faith. So without further ado, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of the Great Millstone, and peace, blessing, and salutation unto the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. So I'm here in the book of Acts, chapter 26, and want to do this lesson again. Paul is speaking in this precept that I have, and Paul had many letters, okay, just to name the letters that he wrote: the book of Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, okay, Hebrews. And these books were scribed, all right, by different men that Paul had to write down his words for him, all right, like the book of Hebrews, all right, the book of Romans as well, all right, and these other books, okay. And in these letters, Paul was addressing many things, but the people that he was addressing were the Hebrew Israelites, okay, which was being called Gentiles because they had fell off from the law, statutes, and commandments. And it was being also called, besides the Gentiles, they was also being called heathen and also uncircumcision. And who called them the uncircumcision? It was those of the circumcision, which were the Israelites that was called Jews, that grew up in the land and knew who they were as a people. Now I want to get Acts chapter 26, and I started verse 5 and read to verse 7, get some precepts to prove clearly that Paul was his office was to teach the Israelites, okay, that had fell away, which was being called Gentiles. All right. Fell away from what? Fell away from their heritage. This is Acts chapter 26 and verse 5. It says, I started verse 4. My manner of life from my youth, which was at the first my own nation at Jerusalem, know all the Jews. So I'm going to read that again. My manner of life from my youth, which was at the first among my own nation at Jerusalem, know all the Jews, which knew me from the beginning, if they would testify that after the most straightest sect of religion I lived a Pharisee. Okay, and you can look up the word Pharisee, and better to do it on the Blue Letter Bible because this app right here is not going to give me much. All right, you can go look it up. All right, Pharisee. Let's see, it says of Hebrew origin, parash, to separate, liberty, to disperse, figuratively, to specify, implication, womb, scattered, declared. Yes, you have to go to the Blue Letter to get more understanding of what a Pharisee and what their doctrine was. Okay. So in verse 6 it says, now I stand. Well, real quick, I want to get a precept. Let's see. Yep, this is Philippians 3 in verse. I started verse 3. For we are the circumcision which worship Yahweh in the spirit and rejoice in Hamashiach Yahushua and have no confidence in the flesh. Meaning we don't have confidence in the flesh that the law is going to be our salvation. All right, that's why we rejoice in Yahushua HaMashiach, because through faith in Yahushua HaMashiach, he is our salvation. And Christ is Mashiach in the Hebrew, which means the anointed or the Messiah, okay, and or the Messiah. All right. It says, though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he hath whereof he might trust in the flesh more. So Paul is about to run down his credentials in the flesh. All right. Verse 5, circumcised the 8th day, which was a custom in Israel. All right. You can get that started with Abraham. All right. And that circumcision was given to Abraham as a sign that the Most High went into covenant with him and his seed. All right. So that is what the circumcision of the foreskin of a male's penis represents. All right. It says, I said penis, shaft or whatever you want to call it. All right. And all right. Let's see what this Genesis 17 say. Yep, Genesis 17 and 12. He that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations. He that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger which is not of thy seed. He that is born in our house and he that is bought with our money must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for everlasting covenant. Okay? See? The Most High established this circumcision with Abraham after he gave him the everlasting covenant to signify that the Most High went into covenant with Abraham. And it was an everlasting covenant. Okay? There was no stipulations on that. The Most High gave Abraham the covenant and made promises with Abraham before the giving of the law. So the law ultimately was not going to be the way to receive the covenants and the promises. Neither could it not keeping the law of circumcision and all the rest of the laws take you as an Israelite away from receiving the promises in the covenant. And that is the doctrine that through Yahweh's sacrifice was preached unto the Gentiles, which are Israelites in the New Testament. All right. Verse 14, and the uncircumcised man child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He had broken my covenant, you see. Now, that is true. Okay? Would be cut off. So the Jews in the New Testament was looking at the Israelites that was being called Jews, all right, in the New Testament, or that was known as Jews in the New Testament. They looked at the Israelites that was being called Gentiles or the uncircumcised as being cut off from being Israelites and from receiving the covenant. All right. So let's go back to Philippians 3 and 5. circumcised the 8th day. So this Paul again running down his credentials to prove the point of him being serious about his heritage. Okay. Circumcised the 8th day of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin. So Paul was of the stock of Israel. All right. Of the tribe of Benjamin, in Hebrew, of the Hebrews. All right. So now let's go here real quick. And I'm going to go back. This is Romans 11:1. I say then, had God cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. All right. Have Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. All right. So the Most High Yahweh have not cast away his people. The Christian church tries to say that the Most High have cast away his people. All right. The apologists, which are Christians, try to say that the Most High cast away his people and accept all nations. No. Even in Romans, when we go down from Romans, the first chapter, all the way to the end of Romans, it's talking about the children of Israel. Romans 11 and Romans 11 and 25. For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery. All right. And the Gentiles, the understanding of Gentiles is indeed a mystery. But Paul is telling us, okay, the Israelites, that we shouldn't look. I'm about to tell you this so you won't be ignorant. So you'll be aware of this mystery and this secret. Okay. Why was it a secret or a mystery? Because this is not the way it went down, okay, under the first covenant, okay? But the Most High had already foreordained it. It was just Yahweh Shai had to come and give his life as a sacrifice to bring back the lost Israel, the broken off Israelites, or the wild Israelites, which were being called Gentiles. All right. It says, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit, that blindness in part is happened to Israel, which would be the Jews, those that knew their heritage, until the fullness of the Gentiles be coming in. And what was the blindness? The blindness was they didn't have faith in Yahushua. All right. A lot of them didn't have faith in Yahushua, but a lot of the Israelites that knew that they was Israel did. His 12 disciples, okay? They knew that they was Israelites, Jews, okay? But blindness didn't happen to them because they believed on Yahushua when he came on the scene, all right? And they believed in his doctrine. But a lot of Israelites that knew that they was Israel didn't, okay? So that's the blindness. They didn't have faith in Yahushua until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Until the fullness of the Gentiles come in. And what is the fullness? The number of Gentiles that the Most High would cause to believe on Yahushua. All right. Come into the faith. All right. And so all Israel shall be saved. You see, the whole chapter is talking about Israel. And so all Israel shall be saved. The Jews and the Gentiles, the Israelites that lost their way. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. You see, both needed ungodliness to be forgiven on their behalves, the Jews and the Israelite Gentiles. All right. And that's what Yahushua did to give the nation of Israel the promises. Okay. That's what he did for us. For this is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins. Okay? And let's go here real quick. This, put this down. Get this real quick. This is, let's see. I want Isaiah 53. Okay. And let's see. Okay, here it go. Yahweh Shah, through his sacrifice, he forgave the children of Israel from our sin, so we could receive the promises and the blessings given to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes. But he was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Okay? We can receive now the promises and the blessings. We have been justified through faith in Yahweh Shah. All we like sheep have gone astray. See, all Israel like sheep went astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and Yahweh had laid on him the iniquity of us all. Okay? So no Israelite can rise up and say, I'm better than him. I'm better than them. Nah, we all went off. Okay? Now, the scripture says the Jews, they was better in a way because they still understood that they was Israelites. And the word of Yahweh was, Ba'ashem Yahushua was given unto them, but they could not keep it perfect. And that was a breach in the contract. So Yahweh Shah was sent by Yahweh to reestablish or to establish the second covenant. All right. Let's see. Let's read verse 10. Yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him. He had put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days. The pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the travail of his soul and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquity. All right. So through Yahweh Shah, we are justified to receive what the promises in the kingdom. All right. Let's see. There's more precepts on that, but stop right there. On that, and I'm going to get back to Philippians chapter 3, verse 5. Circumcised the 8th day of the stock of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. All right, which the tribe of Benjamin would be the West Indians, so-called Jamaicans today. All right. And Hebrew of the Hebrews, right? So Paul was a Hebrew of the Hebrews. And that Hebrew is our language. All right, which in the Hebrew is Ibar, which is past, okay? Because we have the language of the heavens. We have the Lashawan Kodash, the holy language, all right, which the scholars call the Paleo-Hebrew, all right? And we believe we have the proper pronunciation of the language of the heavens, all right, that Yahweh and Yahweh shall speak, okay? We believe we have the proper pronunciation through faith. All right. It says, Paul says, as touching the law, a Pharisee concerning zeal persecuted the church. All right. When you read that in the book of Acts, verses, I believe, 8 and 8, it says, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. All right. So Paul kept the law. All right. But Paul still understood that he was filthy because the flesh that he was in lusted to go off. All right. What things were gained to me, which is his credentials, okay, those I count loss for Hamashiach. All right. So where he was before Yahweh Shah came and knocked him off the horse, he gave it all up. He gave it all up. All right. He as Yahweh Shah told a young rich man to make a sacrifice and give up everything and follow me. And it's a show of faith. Paul showed his faith in Yahweh Shah by giving up his status, okay, and becoming nothing for Yahweh Shah. All right. Even to the point of death. So let's get to this precept. This is Acts 26 and verse 5, which knew me from the beginning, if they would testify that after the most straightest sect of our religion, I lived a Pharisee. And now I stand and am judged for the hope of the promise made of Yahweh unto our fathers. See, Paul was brought to the highest council. Okay? You read it. He was brought to Agrippa, and then he was brought to let's see, one above Agrippa. Let's see. Dang. Okay. Yeah, Paul defense before Agrippa, and then you got Paul went to Rome to appear into the highest court. Okay. And Paul appeared before the chief authority. You can look up his name. Let's see. One of them Caesars. You can go look it up. Forget it. Let's see. Okay, Lucky, bear with me. But when the Jews spake against it, I was constrained to appear to Caesar. It was one of them Caesars. All right, so going back, and it says, I'll look it up so I can commit it to my memory later. Acts 26 and 6. And now I stand and am judged for the hope of the promise made of Yahweh unto our fathers. And what was Paul being accused of? Of bringing Israelite Gentiles into the temple, and the Israelites that knew that they was Israel, the Jews, they got pissed off, and they brought Paul up on charges for that. Okay, and Paul is saying, look, am I being judged for the hope of the promise made of our fathers, or made of the Most High to our fathers, unto which promise our 12 tribes, instantly serving the Most High Yahweh day and night, hope to come, for which hope's sake, King Agrippa, I am accused of the Jews. You see, Paul was being accused and brought up on charges, and they wanted to put him to death. And what was he doing? He was serving the Most High Yahweh day and night for the hope that was made unto our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes. All right. Let's see. real quick. Bear with me. All right, let's see. Yep, this is Acts 26 and 20. It says, but showed first unto them of Damascus and at Jerusalem and through all the coasts of Judea, and then to the Gentiles, that they should repent and turn to the Most High and do works meet for repentance. For this cause the Jews caught me in the temple and went about to kill me. Having therefore obtained help of the Most High, continue unto this day, witnessing both to small and great, saying none other thing than those which the prophets and Moses did say should come. So this is why Paul was being brought up on charges. All right. For teaching the gospel. All right. And this is coming back in these days as well, where there's going to be a lot of hurt Israelites that know that they Israelites, and Israelites that don't know that they Israelites, but mainly those of the circumcision that's going to try to put to death and bring up on charges the true believers, okay, the true teachers, which is those that follow the apostles' doctrine of Great Millstone. All right, so I'm gonna stop right there. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to Yahweh. Salakia. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'm going to close out by giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakadash, Brakatham, Shalom.